Obviously, if you clicked on the video, you're into energy, believe that like there are positive and negative energies in the world, different kinds of energies which impact the way you feel. I got into this because I'm really interested in things that make a massive impact on my life that I don't have to put any effort in for. So like I always think of it like if I'm depressed, I don't want to put effort into my mind to be happy because that is the hardest thing ever. So I'll put effort into the things around me before I get depressed, so that when I get depressed, it's all good and I can get out of it really quickly. Does that make sense? The energy around you basically is your energy and what you turn into. It's like two friends, like you in your room is like two friends talking, and if one of you is really negative, then the other one's going to be negative, and if one of you is really positive, the other one's going to be positive, you know? Or like everything's fine in the world, you're really like happy, but for some reason you're just like, what is this? But for some reason you're just annoyed at this plant. Okay. But for some reason you're just annoyed, you're anxious, you're unhappy, and you can't pinpoint why. It's probably because you're surrounded by negative energy, toxic people and things. And obviously a lot of the time toxic people in our lives are people who we love, like our family, that we can't cut out of our lives, understandably. So we want to change the things around us, and that's, you also clicked on the video because you already know this, but yeah. So the first one is moving furniture around. Lighting's a big one. If you move your like lights and lamps around, that makes a big difference as well. But moving your furniture around, it kind of, I never realised obviously this when I was like 8 or 9. Whenever I was feeling down, I would always move my furniture around and it would make me feel better. And that actually, the act of doing that shifts all the energy. So like a lot of the time, negative energy gets like stuck in like different places, and obviously like places like under your bed, like in the corner of the room, no air circulates around there, so it's just this stuck like build up of negative energy as if dust. So if there's loads of dust, there's going to be probably negative energy there as well. So just moving your furniture around, and obviously when you do that, that sets a new intention. You're kind of moving furniture around because you want an end goal. So like the whole process of moving the furniture around is really productive, it's motivating, and that puts out more positive energy, but also just moving the furniture around gives a new energy flow to the room, and it kind of refreshes it a little bit like that. So that's number one. And number two is cleaning. So similar to like the dusting, if there's a lot of dust, there's probably going to be old, negative, horrible energy there. So cleaning kind of gives this, literally refreshes, rechanges the energy, because you're having air circulation in places that like normally you don't have air in. And also psychologically, it's literally like wiping away your stresses, like you're cleaning, you're refreshing. Obviously it's a lot cleaner, so like your mind is a lot clearer, and that puts out new energy, but also literally cleaning gets rid of the negative energy as well. And the cleaning part is actually a Buddhist tool which I learned. So like when you are doing the cleaning yourself, or like when you come into a space that's clean and tidy, that your mind kind of shifts in that way. So it's always good to keep your environment really clean generally. Another one as well is essential oils. I find this really effective when I'm being lazy, but obviously if you live a very busy life, essential oils is a really good way to change the energy in the room. It's probably the most effective way to change the energy in the room if you have like a multi-purpose room. For example, you can put some relaxing oils in, and that will make the room more a relaxing space and give that kind of energy to the room. And when you walk into the room, you'll like smell this scent that relaxes your body, and then you'll put that energy out into the room. And yeah, so you can literally do anything with it. The most common one I use is tea tree oil, and I use that to clean, so it can literally get into like all the crevices of the room. The next one is by far my favourite, and I think is the most effective generally, is smudging. So you can also use incense for this. It's like a smoke. So smudging is mostly common done with sage, and there's a specific type of wood, I believe, that's very good for cleaning negative energy as well, which is very effective, and people normally are a sager or this kind of wooder. I've never tried that one before, hence because obviously I don't know the name. So I use sage, I use white sage for this, and I love it. So I love the smell of sage as well, which a lot of people don't, but I love the smell of sage. So you literally light it, and you burn it on fire, but it's smoky, and you just put the smoke everywhere in your house. A lot of like supermodels do this, like Bella Hadid and Kendall Jenner do this a lot. So it's cool. So yeah, I like doing that. it kind of gives me this instant gratification. Like, I literally feel like all the negative energy is literally wiped away instantly. And you want to kind of keep the area ventilated either before, during or after you do this, because from like my witchy aspect, it's thought that there are demons causing the negative energy, and smudging with the smoke gets the demons away. But there's this kind of joke saying if you smudge with the windows closed and the demons are just running around in circles. So open the windows and you can just envision these demons running away from you, away from your life, away from your room, and you're just filled with this positive energy left, or this like clean energy to reset it all and to feel untainted by the energy around you. Yeah, and just have the room as a new space almost. So I guess this one's kind of similar to the demon running away thing, but it's fresh air. I personally think this changes the energy a lot, and kind of literally you're getting new air into the room. So obviously that air has new energy, or a different kind of energy to what your room had, and just kind of like replacing it and keeping that ventilation going. Especially do this as well if like someone's not feeling very good, I'll open their windows when they're not home. Or if there's been an argument in the family, literally I want to get new air, new energy in, and just like a fresh start, but also just somewhere where people can go and feel refreshed, because like your vibration, I don't even know how to explain this so you can understand it. It's just a feeling that I have. Like you walk into a space, instead of like you're walking into a house and you've had an argument with someone, you walk back in there and first thing you feel is like, oh, I had an argument with this person, it's tense in here. And that's the feeling, like, oh, it's tense in here. And that's what I kind of like to change for people by opening the windows, so they really come into the house and they're like, they forget about the issue or the argument because it doesn't feel tense anymore.
So my microphone wasn't working for the first half of the video, and I can't even refilm it because I literally have to go out in like 20 minutes. So I'm sorry for the first half. If you made it this far, thank you for putting up with that terrible camera audio. 3 more left.
So the next one, which I've learnt recently, I haven't tried yet, is Chinese white Chinese rice. And this is actually what I learnt from Ting Ting ASMR, and then researched it more afterwards. But it's basically rice in the Chinese tradition is always been used for balance.
Chinese monks, they use white Chinese rice to cleanse the air and the energy, and especially crystals you can cleanse with this as well. It is thought to connect with the elements, especially the sunlight. So I guess with the white Chinese rice, you're charging something with sun energy, or the energy of the sun,
which is really, really cool.
And because it's meant to bring, traditionally in the Chinese culture, white Chinese rice is meant to bring prosperity and abundance to you. It's like recharging your space and your room and your energy with prosperity and abundance. So it's like, no matter what you do in this space, it's going to bring you so much, and like, it's just so positive. It's like not even just like cleansing something, it's like cleansing it and then repainting it a whole different colour that like brings things is already positive in your life, which to me is like beautiful.
The next one is probably the most ambiguous, and then after that I've got the easiest one, so yeah. But the ambiguous one is set an intention for the room. So I have in my minimalism video,
I talked about how I had a room that I could not find a purpose for, and I didn't know how to put the purpose I wanted for it.
For example, I had a dressing room, but I didn't want it to be a dressing room, I wanted it to be an office.
And also making things look like that intention as well. So obviously a dressing table with my clothes looked like a dressing room, but now with this massive table taking up most of the room, and then my clothes, like it looks more like an office.
The last tip I have is not miasma. Miasma is like a medieval thing in which people thought disease spread through the air, but it's bells is the last point. But the miasma thing was that people used to ring bells in the medieval times. If there was like the Black Plague, they used to ring the bells around them to make sure that the air around them wasn't Black Plague air, so they wouldn't get the Black Plague. But obviously that's not how diseases spread, but anyways, it's how energy spreads still. So you can ring bells and that recharges the energy because it literally changes the formation of the air and the waves, and that changes the energy of it because it's different to before. But yeah, you can ring bells. That's a really easy way if something has happened immediately, like an argument. You can ring bells and that can recharge the energy. I really like to ring bells in the corners of the room because I think that's where a lot of energy is like static and it's not like flowing and moving, and it's kind of like dead, dull, bad energy. So I like to ring bells in the corners, and when I clean my room every time I like to ring a bell if no one's home, because I don't want to annoy people, and especially don't do it at night time because bells are very, very loud. And bells also kind of give that placebo effect of changing the energy because it's such a happy, positive sound. And if you know much about sound frequencies, like most human bodies have a similar reaction to different sounds. And the frequency of bells is really like a positive, happy impact on us, which is probably why bells are marketed at Christmas time to make you more happier. Get what I'm saying? So, hope it helped. You're welcome. I really hope it does work for you. I don't hope, I know it's going to work for you, so definitely try it. But I need to get to my appointment now, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you whenever I see you, and let me know if you do any of it and if it's successful, etc. Bye. Got my phone.